Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Achille Songa, and if you have opened this video, it means you are probably trying to learn a new language and you've come here to know how you can learn any language. And I'm not going to show you how I have learned every language that exists, but I want to show you how I was able to learn English and give you some lessons that can help you also learn any language that you want to learn. If you haven't met, my name is Achille Songa and I'm a tech entrepreneur from Rwanda, and I have opened this channel because I love creating content and I want to share my experiences, my knowledge, and then lessons that I learn every day in my daily life. For you to understand well my journey, you have to understand that in Rwanda and most African countries, you will find that our education system is in English. So I started learning English at the age of 7. That's when I started following the curriculum that was in English. And I followed that curriculum for about 12 years until I finished high school, and then again in college we followed the same curriculum that was in English. But I wasn't able to speak English with confidence until I was 18. That meant it's about 11 years that was between. So what changed? How was I able to change from not being able to speak English or learning for 11 years and being able to speak? As you can see, I can speak to anyone in English. That's what I'm going to be sharing today. First of all, I know that going through the school system helps a lot because you get to learn grammar, get to learn vocabularies and all that, but the way it is delivered doesn't help us much. And sometimes in our cases we find that the teachers who are teaching us these languages can't also speak confidently in these languages, which is a problem if you want to become someone fluent in certain language. So what do you do? What I did, apart from the school and all that, when I started learning computer, when I went in school where I was able to get a computer, I started downloading things I loved. I loved music, I loved songs, I loved films, I love movies, American movies, and I would watch all of that. I would sit and listen to the songs, watching lyrics and repeat what they were singing. After some time repeating the songs I loved so many times, I was able to sing them without looking at the lyrics. I started to find myself able to use the same accent as the one that people in the songs were using. At least that's what I thought. I was getting good at using the accent. I was getting good grammar. I could now speak, understand many things that people who speak English would say. I started watching motivational videos, Jay Shetty, Prince AI, and so many other creators, and I would try to mimic them and mimic their accent to be able to speak the way they spoke in their videos. And that helped me unlock so much potential in English, and that's when I started learning new vocabularies, new way to speak English, and I started understanding better the people who speak English. From then, if anyone was speaking English, I was confident that I would be able to listen and understand to what they are saying. So my first recommendation of the things you can do if you're trying to learn any language is to find something that you love doing, so something that you love watching. If it's football, if it's books you like to read, if it's the movies you like to watch, try to find this content in the language that you want to learn and be able to consume it in that language. If you struggle, that's part of the process because you can't achieve anything without struggle. That's a known fact. And after getting this content, try to consume them as much as you can, and also try to repeat what you are learning. If you are listening to the song, try to repeat the song. The word you've just listened to, try to repeat it. If you're watching a movie, try to repeat some words that you find interesting in the movie. Try to repeat sentences, and at the end you're going to find yourself able to speak this language. If you are reading books, try to take some words in those books and look them in the dictionary. Try to look for those words on the internet. Try to note those words down so that you don't forget them. And some people I've seen also repeat the books. They read the book and then they restart it again. And when you restart the book, you always find something new. So try to do these things on this content so that they get into you and you'll be able to understand them and be able to speak that language after you consume so much content. That's how I was able to improve my grammar, improve my vocabulary, improve my accent, and be able to understand well whenever an English speaker was speaking. But that was not enough, because after I graduated high school, I wasn't able to stand in front of the audience and use English to address them. I remember there was a time after my high school, I was working near an Indian, there was this company that was led by Indians, but most people who were working under the Indians were not able to speak English. So whenever they needed someone to translate for them, they would call me and I would go there and I would understand what the Indian was saying and I would translate to them. But whenever I was going to reply to the Indian, I wasn't able to form words or sentences to reply to that man. So as times went on, I started getting used to it and I could form sentences. But what I found was, even if you know so much, even if you have so much in your head, you still need the confidence to be able to use that language in real world scenarios. And how do you develop confidences? I developed confidences through the experiences, as I was doing it so often. And the other thing that you can do, the other thing that I did, was that after I started college, I joined the communications club. It was the Gava club, which is an affiliate of Toastmasters. But you can join Toastmasters club, you can join any communication club, any English club around you, so that you get used to learning or speaking any language that you want to learn. I saw that Toastmasters have English and French, but you can find other groups of people who are able to speak that language. If you can find them in person, you can find the groups on Facebook. There are so many groups of people. I remember when I was learning Korean, I would join groups on WhatsApp of people who were speaking Korean, and they were always happy to help or give you assistance whenever you needed it. If you needed someone to talk to, you would always find someone in those groups. So try to find those groups on the internet. You can go on Reddit, you can go on Facebook, you can go on YouTube and find creators who are in those languages and find people who are commenting on their videos and try to connect to them. Try to connect to people who are speaking that language so that you get used to it. That was how I was able to develop my confidence. It was through practices and joining communities of people who speak that language, because you will be able to learn a lot of things. But if you don't use it to speak, if you don't use it and put it in practice, you will always just think you know things, but you can't put it in practice. If you are going to speak to someone, you always not find words to use. So that's 2 recommendations that I can recommend to you. If you are trying to learn a new language, try to find the content in that language that you like. If you like movies, if you like music, if you like books, try to find those kind of content and consume them in that language. Second, try to find people who speak that language and join them. Try to join those people so that whenever they speak, whenever you are with them, you can practice speaking to them, gain direct feedback from them. Try to find them online or with groups around you if you can find them. So that's how I can recommend you to learn any language. If you have other recommendations, feel free to put them in the comments so that anyone who wants to learn new languages can be able to practice using your recommendations. If you don't want to miss any of my videos, click subscribe and I will see you in the next video.